I see a lot of young, beautiful women doing OF. It's something that I believe personally that disrupt your mental health. I believe women are more than worth it, and I do a lot of things for women because I admire them a lot.
Lesson. So I'm either going to win or I'm going to learn. I'm personally
You never lose.
I don't lose.
Do you think most women are insecure when they go to you and they're looking for something to feel better about themselves?
Well, the aging process can be very scary for anyone,
Exactly,
male
yeah.
or female. But the standards that we have now these days, the beauty standards in social media, magazines, there's a lot of pressure for women more than ever to feel relevant, to stay beautiful, to still young, look and feel the way they always have. The premises was that food can kill you or can make you thrive.
Epic people here today that are going to demonstrate that age is just a number. Bienvenidos al Fitness Revolution Podcast con su amigo Julián Díaz y hoy vamos a tener un episodio épico porque vamos a estar hablando en English today with my friends, epic people here today that are going to demonstrate that age is just a number. Here with my man Shino Bay, the one and only, the legend. How are you feeling today, Shino?
I'm feeling great. I can't wait to do this podcast. I've been waiting for a long time to be able to get this.
Absolutely. Introduce for us your friends, beautiful friends that are going to help us demystify age.
But these two beautiful ladies is a HIPAA violation because I will have to disclose that I know them very, very well. They just happen to be these two beautiful patients of mine, and they're so inspiring. And I had the idea that I needed to do a podcast that will show how they can look so great. Mm-hmm. And it looks effortless, but it's not, because I know it takes a lot of work to look like this. But I don't want to give it away. I just thought that they were so special, they're so inspiring, and I need other women to hear them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can you say your name, please?
Tracy Lynn.
Tracy,
Yes.
How about you?
Lisa Kaplan.
Lisa, can you explain to us what you do and a little bit of your life story so we can have like a family history, because we are family right here, right now.
Absolutely. So we're going to take the shortcut version
Right.
of my life, especially at the age, which we'll talk about. But I started as an entrepreneur and ran a direct selling company with over 100,000 women.
Wow, that's
selling
awesome.
my products like a Mary Kay, but we were Tracy Lynn Jewelry, and ran that for years and years, inspiring other women. And I sold it some years ago to live the retired life. And then I realized I still had more to give, so I started a training company. So now I inspire other entrepreneurs how to start their business.
Awesome.
And so I coach and train from a perspective of having done it before.
Absolutely, that's great.
Yeah.
How about you, my beautiful?
Well, not to reveal my age, I will start back from way back when I was a cheerleader gymnast. Always loved to compete, always loved looking good, being fit, being healthy. It was always part of my life. Raising kids, having careers, and not getting into all of that, I found myself around my 30s getting into personal training and helping other people with the way they look and feel. And then I retired for about 5 years and decided that I really wanted to give back again, because I still am that person that wants to help others feel good, look good, and reach their journeys in their life. So I developed a company, Revolutionary Wellness by Lisa, where I help other women feel good about themselves and through the whole process. So
It's so important what you guys do, that you empower women to become their best version, because nowadays we live in an era that social media is giving young women a false expectations of what they should be doing rather. Right. I see a lot of young, beautiful women doing OF, because we cannot talk about in camera about what it is. OF is something that I believe personally that disrupt your mental health, because you're not supposed to be what you do in those platforms. As a woman, it makes you feel that you're not worth what you're supposed to be worth. I believe women are more than worth it, and I do a lot of things for women because I admire them a lot. I grew up, she knows this, with my mom and my sister, and they're my idols because I saw how much they have to work and hustle in order to raise me and give me an opportunity to become the man I became. So what you do, guys, is amazing, and we're going to talk about that a lot because inspiring women is something that I do and you do well. And of course, the master here not only empower, but he reveals women from within.
Thank God.
Thank goodness for that.
Absolutely.
I've known him many years.
If you don't know this guy, Dr. Shino Bay Aguilera is one of the world expert in anti-aging, my mentor. And I want to ask you one thing, Shino, that I always wanted to ask you, and I'm going to make sure that people understand this. You've seen thousands of women in many years that you work. What is your... Yeah, because I know what you do, but explain what you do to people briefly, and what is it that you notice that they lack? Do you think most women are insecure when they go to you and they're looking for something to feel better about themselves?
Well, I mean, the aging process can be very scary for anyone,
Exactly,
male or
yes.
female. But the standards that we have now these days, the beauty standards in social media, magazines, there's a lot of pressure for women more than ever to feel relevant, to stay beautiful, to still young, look and feel the way they always have. And with the aging process comes a lot of fear. So for me, I do more than what I do with my hands. In that room, instead of having small talks, I'm very interested in what they think. Because I can make people appear young, but I cannot keep them young. They continue to age if they don't stay young here.
Exactly.
And they don't take the decision to stay young. And to stay young is not to put an expiration date on your youth and longevity. A lot of people, it was back in the day, once you're 50, you're over the hill.
Yes,
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a mindset, though.
Yes, but they
Still the mentality of women.
but
It
they
still
they,
has
they
not
did look
changed.
over the hill.
Yes, they did.
They did. If
Yeah.
you look back and what grandma and my mom, they made a decision to be over the hill.
Yep.
But not these women here.
But I think, but what happens is, I'm sorry to interrupt you because this is gonna be an interrupting conversation. If you really think about it, my dad was he's a very good looking guy, but when he was my age, he was old, dude. He dressed old, he behaved old, and he talked old. People before in the generation that passed, they were different in mentality. Not so much that, yes, we have developed technology in the anti-aging field that help us to look younger, but I think it's our mentality
Yes.
that have changed dramatically and allow us to say, you know what, I'm 41, I'm super young.
Right.
I don't see myself being an old person. Be careful if you call me old. If you see me outside in the street, I'll punch you in the face. Don't do that. Keep going, Chino.
No, so my job is I believe in bioregenerative static medicine and orthomolecular medicine, which orthomolecular medicine was coined in the 60s, 1968, the year that I was born. So it's a good year. And the premises was that food can kill you or can make you thrive.
Correct.
And back then, the doctors of that era, just like now, academic arrogance can be terrible because if it's not peer review or published in an article, they don't want to hear it. But now I don't need to convince anybody. We know that most of the disease that we have now, we know that we need to eat clean, we need to eat healthy because food
So
is
true.
medicine.
Absolutely. I love that term, academic arrogance, because believe it or not, well, you're a doctor. In medical school, you didn't study nutrition, which is key for longevity. And most doctors nowadays, they're arrogant enough not to understand the power that food, sleep, happiness. For example, how many times you eat a day? 2, 3, 5, 8? How many times you eat a day?
3+.
How about you?
5 to 6.
How about you?
Twice.
I eat twice, once a day maybe. But how many times do we have a thought? How many times we think? Between 80 and 90,000 per day. thoughts. So if your thoughts are negative, which are the most in your subconscious, we might say that we are consuming fuel that is not good for us.
Exactly.
And we focus so much on the food only that we don't pay attention to how we think, how we behave, how we love ourselves, and the environment that we live in. That's called epigenetics.
Right.
So going back to you, my beautiful, how did you start that business that how are your beginnings and how you escalate a business to the degree that you did? Because that was a big business,
Yeah,
right?
it was a big business, and I started with $200.
Wow,
and,
amazing.
That's all I had. So it was a
Wow.
bootstrap moment. But I've had 3 or more other businesses that didn't make it. So
Exactly.
I learned tenacity in the process. And I didn't come from a family with money. So their thing was get back up and try again. And you can still do it without those resources. And I did. I believed them. I believed what my grandmother told me, what my mother told me. You can do it. You can do anything. And I believed it, and I did it. And I kept going. And there were many iterations of me. And people stop at the first iteration. If it doesn't work, it's over.
It's not. It's never gonna work the first time.
It's not.
No.
And it took me 3 times with the same exact business to really hit it. 3 times.
Because you learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely.
I don't see mistakes. I see learning experiences.
Yeah, lessons.
You learn the second time, and the
Yep.
third time you know what not to do to make that business successful.
Absolutely.
And now that we're talking about that, and it's inspiring because that happens to me as well. Couple of business, 0 money
Yep.
at all,
Yep.
and I never quit. He knows I'm very persistent because I'm not doing things only for me, but for the women that comes before me.
Right.
And the guys that come before me. I mean, after me, sorry.
After you.
After. You know, my English is funny sometimes, but get along. You know?
Mine
And,
too, don't worry.
and it's inspiring that you were able to pivot and understand and keep going, because in life, whether it's in business, relationships, we are going to fail. The question is how you come back and go at it even more.
And how you see it.
And
too.
how you see it too, and how
Is
you
it
learn.
a failure or is it a lesson? So I'm either going to win
Exactly.
or I'm going to learn.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm personally
You
not
never
gonna
lose.
eat- I don't lose, and I'm not going to eat a failure. It's something that happened that I'm going to learn through. So I'm either learning or I'm winning.
And that's great because now, and you would agree with me, all of you guys, that we have the term that I use is business porn. And why I say that, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs, young especially, that they see these guys that are lying, that they're in these Lambos that are rent and with these watches and whatever, making $800,000 a month,
Right.
only making 2 calls a day. Like that's not true.
Possible.
That's
Right.
impossible.
Exactly.
And the process of building a body, building a family,
Right.
building a business is hard work.
Yes.
And a consistency based effort when you don't want to do things, and that's called discipline.
That's right.
Let's talk about your personal training experience, because it's very interesting for me. I was a personal trainer myself also for many years, and it's very rewarding when you change people's life. I think there's nothing better than changing people's life, and we are all in different business, but we do the same things. When did you start in the personal training arena? And when you tell me that, describe me, how was the feel in those times and those eras, because it has changed a little bit with time, although the concepts are the same, but it probably changed a little bit.
Well, I was always the cheerleader. They always called me the big mouth. Loud mouth. People still say, oh, Lisa's in the room. I think that I was just born with that given talent or part of me that wants to be that cheerleader for others, and always have been there to help others and inspire women. I've really just, I worked with some men earlier in my days of a personal trainer, but it evolved more to women because they could relate with me, I could relate with them.
And they feel comfortable with
and
you.
They feel comfortable, and they know that I'm not there to hurt them and make them sore, and they know I am there to listen to them, and it's about making them better. And I built really, really beautiful relationships over the years. To this day, I still and very close with a lot of my clients. So it's
And you were
really
probably
nice.
very successful too because their husband paid with no hesitation.
And they didn't have to worry about their wives cheating
exactly.
with their personal
They were
trainer.
not. They were not. They were not. How you call this? They didn't feel threat by any guy.
Exactly.
In my
Very true.
career, I came to a lot of situations where I was not even thinking about none of that, and their husbands kind of were like, I don't know, because it's common, and I'm not gonna lie, I seen
Very common.
friends of mine that are happy too much, and they try to do things with their clients, and there's when you're professional for real, there's a limit in which you work.
That's right.
Your reputation is everything.
Yeah.
So you can be as beautiful as you want, baby, but I'm sorry, I can't do it with you.
Right.
I can't. This is a line.
It's a line.
Talking about that, I know both of you train, and both of you look amazing. Very fit, very muscular, very in shape. And I want to touch that because we were talking before rolling that if I get $1 for every time a woman tell me, oh my God, I don't want to work out, I don't want to look like a guy, I'll be very wealthy.
Absolutely.
Very wealthy.
Yes.
Exactly.
Why you think that is, and describe your journey in the fitness arena. When did you start working out? How much have you learned? And what was the turning point that you say, oh, now I know my body and now I know what to do that works for me perfectly in this age? Because, a lot of people think that we have to work out the same way now than when we're 20 years of age, and things changes.
Exactly.
We need to adjust to our age. That doesn't mean that they gotta stop working out.
Right.
You gotta
That's a very good
adjust to the capabilities that you have now that you didn't
Very
have
true.
before.
Especially Tracy, because
Yeah.
unlike Lisa that was always working out,
Always.
you started later.
I started later. I started my workout journey at 59.
Wow, that's awesome.
What?
So I was brand new.
No way.
I started at 59.
Look at those arms, baby. Let's go.
In
Wow.
February, and by September I was on the stage.
What?
So
That's
and I
crazy.
went from 36% body fat all the way down to like 8% to get
Wow.
stage ready. And I went from
Incredible.
138 pounds down to like 108.
And you
to be
will
on the
never
stage.
go back.
Oh, I
to
will
that
never.
weight,
No,
right?
I will never. I
Let
will
me
never.
ask you
'Cause that's
I will
something.
never go
Yeah.
back.
Let me ask you something because that's remarkable.
Yeah.
Wow.
When somebody competes, in my experience, anecdotally, and with a couple of girlfriends that I used to have that they compete both.
Okay, couple. I heard you. Okay.
So anecdotally, because I have the conversations with them,
Yeah.
something happened in their life that they took bodybuilding as a coping mechanism to just channel all their energy towards that. Was that your case, or you just say, you know what, I want to change my life and I'm going to make this happen no matter what?
That's a great question because it's usually two things, exactly what you said. And for me, I had been taking bone densities, and in my family, a lot of the women, especially my grandmother, had the hump in the back. And they weren't into bone density, so I was taking a bone density and I shrunk. And they said, okay, 2 years, come back, but we want you to do some weight-bearing exercises to not lose any more of this bone. And I started working out in my own gym with myself. And that's a life lesson. Sometimes we think we can do it, but who's really going to challenge us? That's why we need professionals. I'm not trying to give myself Botox, and I'm not going to the hair salon where they do Botox on the side. No.
Exactly. That's why
they do that.
there's so many people look
That's
weird.
yes, and people do it all the time. They tell me about their friend who's now doing Botox, in the side of the back of the salon. No, thank you. I want the professionals. So I tried it that way, doing it myself, and 2 years later, I was shrunk more.
Ooh.
So now I'm at this point, I'm 58, turning 59, and I'm saying, okay, I'm 5'4". I cannot afford to lose any more of this 5'4"-ness. I want to stay.
She doesn't want to be like me, 5'1".
No, because I wasn't born there. That wasn't the height. The height is 5'4". So I needed to keep the 5'4". And it was a challenge because it was always a secret desire. But we choose what we want to make time for.
Exactly.
And I never made time for that because my main focus was on business and business development and business success. And I always wanted to do it, but never put the time in. And that's the only thing, if I could go back into my 20s, I'd work out because I love it. So I'm free now. So what's holding me back from doing it? So the only thing that got me really thinking is because I was shrinking and I didn't want to do it. But it was something I wanted to do. Every time, if I saw Lisa before I was working out on a cruise and she was in the weight room, I would want to take a picture with her. Why? Because she possessed something that I didn't think I could get. And then when I started taking pictures with ladies, they weren't cheerleaders. They weren't nice like Lisa. They'd be rolling their eyes up in the sky like, really, lady? You want a picture? And so I said, you know what? Why don't I just do the work to get that myself? And I don't have to take the pictures. And if somebody wants to take a picture with me, I'll be gracious because I'll remember what it felt like. So that was my reason. So when I turned 60 last year, I was on stage and I met Lisa.
Wow.
When I turned 60. So that was my goal. So I started 59 and then moved right up to the 60 and I was on the stage.
That's great. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
It's inspiring because most women, I'm telling you, I've worked with thousands of women in my career. That's the number one myth, that they're going to look like a guy.
That's a
and
myth.
the second myth, I'm too old to start that. I can't do it.
Well,
And when you are getting older is when you need to start working out. And you need to
Absolutely.
start getting those bones strong again. And you need to start developing muscle mass in order for you to have a healthy longevity.
And so that you don't have the auntie arms.
Exactly.
I'm strong here, but
That's right.
But
That's
I don't
right.
want that.
also it's an endocrine organ. It's considered
Absolutely.
now an endocrine organ for longevity. It does more than just lifting things and getting you out of a chair. It really have, activity that is for longevity, creating, affecting your hormones, enzymes, coenzymes. So the more muscle you have as you get older,
Better.
that is going to be better for your own longevity.
And I always think about our life in terms of prehistoric behavior. I don't think that we're meant to have a 100-pound dumbbell and do squats for 20 reps. Because evolutionary speaking, we might grab something from the ground and pick it up one time super heavy. But that movement signal our body to say, hey, this must be important. We need to develop stronger muscles for survival. So what we're doing when we lift weights and when we move and when we do things that require effort is to communicate to our body and to our organs, to our brain, this movement have to be important for us. So we need to develop muscle in order for us to be ready for the next challenge that will come again. When you stagnant, when you don't move, right then and then you're becoming old, whether you're 80 years of age, 25 or 35. So movement is key for longevity in life.
Yep.
Lisa, when did you start your journey?
I guess I was always obsessive because I never wanted to be like that. I had a fear.
So you
in
start
my
working
head.
out early, very early?
She didn't want to go down from 5'1".
right. She didn't want to go
Exactly.
more height. No.
I always had, in my 20s is where I really started after college, getting, I picked up the weight in college, stopped being, doing gymnastics, the cheerleading, so I definitely picked up the more than freshman 10. It was more like the 20, and I lost a little weight, but then over time I decided that I needed to, weightlifting back then wasn't very,
You were
was not in
you
style.
were a unicorn, to be honest.
Total unicorn back then. I
I bet you that you were the only girl doing squats in the gym.
And I did squats back then.
All right.
I
Heavy.
did
Yes.
I did bench pressing and squats, and as time, you do adjust with age. No more of that on my back anymore. But
Smith machine. Right. Thank goodness.
I didn't even do Smith machine,
No?
actually.
You don't?
I use a lot of cable systems.
Okay.
Because I have spinal stenosis, so I have to be
Okay.
very careful.
Okay.
So, but that doesn't, like you said, with age, you have to adjust. But I still lift very heavy, lower repetition, very heavy. It's hard for me to even hold dumbbells that are heavy because of different issues, but nothing stops me.
That's
I
great.
have-
That's a mentality.
I'm sure Tracy has the same thing. You have things that'll stop you, health, different things that come up in your life, but you just keep going.
Absolutely.
Muscles don't know about weight, but they know about stimuli. Once you connect your muscle brain and you know when you lift and you feel when you lift, you don't need heavier or light. You need movement. And that's what most people don't understand. That you don't need even to go to a gym if you know or you're working with a professional, because movement is something that we must do on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
I know you are from the bodybuilding and we're going to talk about nutrition and protocols and whatnot, but I would argue with anybody that the most important thing for us to stay young is not only movement, is not only nutrition, is not only the epigenetic, but it's our internal dialogue, our friendships, our communities, our self-love that we're so apart from, because we live in a society that we have good cars, apartments, money, businesses, but we're lonely. And research suggests that loneliness is worse than smoking 2 packs of cigarettes per day.
Wow.
And we already know how detrimental that is for our longevity.
Right.
So I have felt in parts of my life loneliness because I see that you are type A like me. And when people are like type A like us, we work hard, and I have the capacity to neglect anything that is in my way or in my goal. So if there's a woman that I love too much and she is wanting to party too much, I gotta cut her out because I have a goal.
You gotta get
And
up in the morning, do your
this
thing.
maybe don't affect you ladies as much as affect us, but when we like a lady, we become blind.
No me.
Not him, but me. But we lose focus, which is now the goal in this society.
Right.
And I say all this because I'm gonna ask a very important question now, starting with you, Shino. Can you think about a time of your life that you felt lonely and hopeless, and you compare it with yourself today, that you're a guy that have achieved a lot in life, that have somebody that love you and you love him? How do you see yourself from the past and say, wow,
Well,
I knew that I will make things work for me?
Well, I started actually really, really early. You know my story.
Yeah.
I was, my father came to the United States when I was 2.5. My mom, she disappeared with, who is my stepfather now. So my grandmother raised me. So I always felt lonely since I can remember, because I didn't grow up with my parents. And everything bad that you can imagine that happened to a child that is alone and unattended happened to me, from sexual abuse, from bullying, from everything. So I think most of my loneliness, where I didn't feel wanted, was early in life. It was until I was 9 years old, and from all this pain that I had, I tried to commit suicide. I ran DDT, a pesticide. Obviously, I didn't die, but when I came back from that event, I just had this inner voice, inner guidance, wordless language that always guided me from that moment on. And I just was convinced that if I came to America, United States, I could be whoever I wanted to. Because on top of being abandoned as a child and being extremely poor. My grandmother, who I'm really proud, I told you I used to keep that as a big secret. She was a prostitute, but she raised 8 kids and 3 grandchildren. So now I'm proud to say it. I don't care if anybody that knows don't want to be my friend, or, I feel like I always live imposter syndrome because I feel that one day, no matter who I was a doctor or a lawyer, somebody will use that to hurt me, because that's what they did when I was little. And I would get into a lot of fights because of that, and I would get upset. And my grandma said, why could you clean houses? But now I'm very proud that she did so. I prepared myself to come to United States and created my own future and have my own friends and my own community of people that will love me the way I dream of to be loved. And
That's
I
beautiful.
made that come true.
Good. That's beautiful. That's
It is
beautiful.
very beautiful.
Beautiful and inspiring, because, everything is possible. And I learned from you a lot of things, and I tell you this before. I started lifting weights because I was an insecure kid. Like, when I'm telling you insecure, I could not look anybody in the eye, guy or women or men. I came from very poor childhood, and I felt like my dad never liked me. And now I understand that, adults have sometimes their own decisions and their own life to do. And I cannot blame him for what he did, because at the end of the day, he was looking for his own best interest. But I felt it was my fault. And because of that, I started lifting weights. I started playing baseball. I started playing basketball, because of the hope that I was so good that my dad looked at me and said, I'm proud of you. That was the only thing I always wanted. Now he does, and I'm proud of that. But it was like 30 years in the making. And that inspired me to become the man I'm today. That said, we all have our stories, and we do things to cope with our pain. And this is very important for young people that are looking at this. Your parents don't have a manual on how to raise you. It's very hard to raise a kid, whether your dad is a billionaire, a president, or just an entrepreneur or an employee. They only try to do the best they know at the moment. As we age, we learn things and we improve. So your parents are not doing anything on purpose. Very, very weird that will happen. I wanted to mention that. Keep going with you now.
Okay.
Did you, I know it was a long intervention, but I was asking if you felt lonely ever in your life, and now that you have achieved basically everything you wanted, how do you feel, and who do you have to become in order to become the person that you're today?
So, success is also a lonely road.
It is.
People don't understand. They don't know why you go so hard.
And they want to pull you back
and
too.
They want to pull you back. So you have some who are happy for you. You have some who are not so happy for you.
And most, they don't care.
And most just don't care. And so you're kind of left in the middle, where my grandmother, who passed away, she just, she had such an unconditional love for me, because I had to go live with her. My mother was still young and wanted to do her thing. And my grandmother took me and raised me for so many years. And my grandmother was just, just a bucket of love. And, to when she looked at me, it was with such approval eyes. And, that's a difference between someone looking at you with disapproving eyes. So I got a chance to see both, what that looked like. And I, being the only child, always just wanted to just go above and beyond, because I wanted my grandmother to be proud, and my mother had different eyes. She was always looking, like checking. And so I just had to be right, and to be all the things. She put so much pressure on me for all the things she wanted to accomplish. She wanted me to do. And so I just had to decide. She wanted me to be a physician, and then I was at University of Michigan and going into the medical program, and I would faint every time I saw blood. So what kind of doctor?
You can't be a doctor, though.
I can't, but I was her only daughter, the doctor, since I was 4. I could tell you I was going to be a physician because she put that in me. So to have to now navigate through all of that. And then, the road of success. And I've been married to my husband now 31 years. We've been together for 32 years. But there was a marriage before that didn't work out. So I've just had a road to go. But I'm just, even though there's a lot of lonely times, there's not much I would change. And I'm glad that I was able to withstand even the loneliness and even the pressures of success, the fear of failure and fear of success, because then there's survivor's remorse because other people didn't make it out. Then you feel guilty. Then I went through this thing. I felt responsible. I started giving away a lot of stuff that today I'd go back and get it all. But anyway, yeah, because they didn't always deserve that, but I just wanted everybody to be on equal footing, and sometimes that's not for us to do because everybody has to have their own ambition as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lisa, talk to me.
So that's
have you ever felt lonely?
That's a big word, loneliness, especially when you're my age at 61, and it is very difficult because your community that you live in you're unique to that. And I think sometimes women look and judge, you get judged and you get pushed aside because of a certain way you look without knowing who you really are. And I think I'm so blessed of 35 years of marriage, and I'm so blessed that I have a husband who lives my lifestyle of health with me and longevity.
That's extremely important.
And healthy eating, and embraces when I decided at 60 to go compete because my life was always being healthy, and he actually pushed me, Lisa, just do it. Because I was spending 5 years, I had lost 15 pounds, and I was really, really into it, to over the top. And it's hard because women just don't understand that. And as a looking back, when you're in a different setting in the work world, it's different because you're busy all the time. And I feel I was very lonely during that 5-year period. And now I feel that's why I started getting back into it and wanting to give back again because, and I'm getting choked up.
It's fine.
Because it's hard. It still is a hard lifestyle to live because you do get judged, and unfortunately by the outside and not the inside.
I think that when you are thriving in life, people hate you, because I can tell you by experience, as long as you keep hanging out with these losers here, they won't judge you or criticize you. But as long as you want to move forward in life, they want you to stay here with them.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because most people have no purpose in life, and most people are a bunch of losers. Sorry to say the thing straight. Because
Thank you.
they rather spend the weekend smoking weed and drinking and partying and do whatever than staying home and reading a book to improve their knowledge base to become something. Most people are okay working a 9 to 5 and waiting for the weekend to get high, because the mystery life, the only break they have is in the weekends. And I'm sorry, sometimes people hate me because I'm straightforward.
Right.
In order for you to achieve anything, you have a decision to make.
Absolutely.
Whether you're going to be a loser or you're going to be somebody that is at least trying to change your life. And I read a book about, I don't know if you guys know Ed Milet. It's somebody magnificent. I'm going to pass you his podcast so you guys listen to him. And he inspired me. I was even crying on the car one day by myself because he says the following: I decided that I would be the one of my family, the one that will always change the trajectory of my family. Nobody will ever humiliate us anymore. And now I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm the one that called the shots.
Yeah, that's called the black wolf, and there's someone in the family that turns, spiritually speaking, they become the black wolf of the family. They actually take that decision, but that's already a contract when you come as a spirit that you are going to be the black wolf, and you are here to change generational karma from your family, and you become the successful. But they usually start with a very tumultuous childhood or challenging childhood. But all of that is on the contract, so they can actually change the generational karma of all their families, and they become successful, and great stories. So I like that.
Now that you talk about that, I was listening to a podcast. That's all I do. I don't listen to music. I don't listen to anything. I read, work, listen to podcasts, and educate myself. I listened to a podcast the other day that were talking about reincarnation and how our souls have to go to a process of achieving certain, let's say we got to come here and graduate with a 10 score. In this life, we only got to 2. We got to come back again until we achieve 10, and then we can pass to a different realm. What is your opinion or your knowledge about that? Because that's always something that intrigued me.
Well, I mean, we all souls having a human experience, and everything that happens for a reason, and synchronicity. So, I mean, I'm a very spiritual person, and I honor the spirit on everybody that I meet, and I think that helps you be more compassionate and understanding of why sometimes people do things that are wrong. And it's part of the karma, part of the dharma. So I tend to have better tolerance for things that usually bothers me. Even I'm capable to love somebody that murders somebody that I love. I'll be able to forgive and love them if I know why it happened, right? So that takes a certain level of being like an old soul to be able to look at the eye of somebody that killed your mother and you still forgive them, you know, and feeling that you can actually forgive them and love them, you know. So I feel like I can do that.
That's unbelievable, because you know, I'm a little bit more mature now, but before I was very hyper vigilant, because I grew up like you in a place that was a little bit dangerous, and every time I scan the surroundings and I feel something weird, I get sympathetic, I get fight or flight mode, and I get ready to fight, and I have to come to conclusions and get more relaxed and more loving in order for me to be a better person. But now, without talking about politics, we live in an era that we got to be very careful of what we say, of what we express, because unfortunately now you might be canceled for something that you feel deeply, and you say something that it can be take out of context, and all of a sudden 8 years of Instagram success that you build little by little can be canceled in a second.
Right.
And I believe that we're all the same.
Right.
Race, color, whatever. And like you just mentioned, we're just a soul living in a body,
Right.
and experiencing this realm of the experience called life as good as we can. So with that segue, now we're going to talk about nutrition.
Okay.
Because the soul is one thing, but the body is another thing. And when we put in our bodies, that fuel is very important. And I have a take on nutrition. He have a take, but you guys are bodybuilders. And you have another take
Indeed.
that is very interesting, because in the bodybuilding arena, the protocols are kind of different than what I do for longevity and what he recommends for longevity as well.
Yeah, I want to know what you eat to look like that.
So we're going to try to steal your ideas on your protocols.
A lot.
Yes.
Tell me
More
a
than
little
you
bit
think.
about that journey,
Yeah.
because I'm very intrigued I know you compete, both of you, and I know how hard that is
Yes.
mentally and the diet.
It's not so
And we're gonna start with you. I'm very intrigued by your process in such a short time frame.
Yes.
How you even adjusted your mind to be eating the way bodybuilders eat so fast and lose all that weight and get ready for a show in what, 9 months?
7 months I was
Wow.
on the stage. Yeah, September. So it was less than 7. 6
Unbelievable.
months. And then it was 7 months when I met Lisa. It was the following month.
So you used to eat healthy or have you were like whatever.
Whatever.
wow.
Whatever.
You never were overweight or none of that?
Yeah, but you wouldn't know it. I was a skinny fat. So
I see.
I could hide it. I could spanx it up where it needed to be spanked. And, but because I had like a wider back and a very tapered waist, so I could always just spanx down the front and it would give a nice
You were one of those ladies that ladies hate.
right. And
You
then I
can
was
eat
always
whatever
on-
and never get
And I
fat.
was always on some diet. Then I was on some HCG stuff that you hit. It was before, all of the Wegovies and, semaglutide stuff. But I was always on something, trying, but never wanted to take the road less traveled, which is the long road. I even had, back in 2014, I had a procedure for body, to get my tummy tucked. That's what you
Okay.
call it. In 2014. I knew Dr. Shino then, but he didn't know I had this tummy tuck. But anyway, I did have
So
it.
you were spanked.
Yes. So I had this tummy tuck. And then, a couple of years later, it was untucked. And which means that they got the fat that I had then. They didn't get the new fat that came. So, people think they go and you're going to be slim forever, but then you're still eating the same bad stuff. You get the new fat.
That's a marketing strategy.
Right. They said, lose the fat permanently.
Exactly.
I'm like, just the fat you have the day you go in.
Exactly.
It's not your future fat.
Exactly.
So
Correct.
I
They'll tell you
lived it. They don't tell you that. So I knew that I needed to speed up my metabolism, and I was experiencing menopause. So I had already been in like 10 years of the hot flash, and I was full menopausal. There was no peri. I was in it. So no, been beyond the peri. So I had all of this. So hormones were everywhere. It was wild. So what zenned me and calmed me was working out and just going hard. I went 4 days a week, for 3 hours. Every single day was like a job.
That was when you hired a coach?
Yeah, that's when I got a coach. And then I got into a group, but I also got the coach's meal plan. So which required me to eat 6 meals a day because we had to change the metabolism. So I had to eat, and they weren't like little small like lettuce meals. It was always 3-4 ounces or 5 ounces of protein. It was that. It was a cup of veggies and some almond butter or something, and then the shake. So it was food. People think that I'm going around eating a carrot. I never had a carrot.
And you never were not eating. You were eating constantly
Constantly.
good food.
Egg whites every morning. Egg whites and spinach. And so I had to learn how to meal prep. And then I didn't like meals like prep for a whole weekend. It was just not good food. So I love good food. I love to cook. So I had to learn how to put my spin on it to make it really good. But I was consistent. And the people always say, well, how did you just switch like that? I'm an entrepreneur. I've been doing.
You're switching mindsets immediately.
It is a
For
mindset.
how long? I've been doing this for 30 some years. I've been in business. So I know how to do that. So it's not as hard as people would think, being that disciplined. Once I set my mind to do it, I wasn't going to stop.
Exactly.
And I was going to do whatever it took. And so even a year in, I just got back from nationals. I don't even know if you knew. I went to go get a pro card.
Congrats.
That's
So in
right.
August, that's why I was busy, because when I'm locked in and I don't come out. I got to eat all my meals. I got to be at the gym 5 days a week, and I got to be there for 3 hours. Then I got to do all the glutes and the legs and the and the stuff. Then I've got to wrap my knee so I can press on that leg press because, my knees were getting, I told you when my knee had gotten that, anyway.
Yeah.
I
Spicy.
wrapped it. Yeah,
We
it
say
got real
spicy,
spicy.
get spicy.
It got spicy. That IT band got swollen and spicy. So I wrapped it, but I kept going. And I went, nobody could believe it, but I was going to nationals. And I had only been bodybuilding for a year and a
That's
few months.
crazy.
And I was in the 60 class. And then mentally, I was like, I'm going to go see these little ladies. But then I thought about, no, they ain't. Look, I remembered you. They ain't no little ladies. These ladies got some dense muscle.
Yeah.
And she's got muscle memory and the denseness that a younger bodybuilder doesn't have. This is time. It takes time to develop that density.
Those fibers.
It takes time to develop that. So I go, and it was like, because I was in the 5'4" class, they break them up in heights, and we only had 2 classes for 60, but it was like 15 women, and I was like, oh. I looked back there, I said, well, welcome to the winner's circle, because they were all winners here. So they were all winners. They were dense. They had been doing it. They had been at the show the month before and didn't win and were back, and had been the month before that.
They're very into it.
They were
It's a
into it.
life.
And
It
this
is
was
a
my
life.
first time.
Was
on the
it
national
intimidating?
circuit. Well, you know what? I didn't know anything deep enough about it to be intimidated. So I just went with the best package that I possibly could. I did everything the situation demanded. I ate all the food. I didn't miss training. I was locked in. I sacrificed a whole lot of other things to get it done. So I felt that I was very prepared. And even out of all the 12, 15 ladies, I came in number 3.
That's great.
Amazing.
Number 3.
That's
So
great.
I got a
Amazing.
good
It's a good-
medal for it, and I was number 3. And the lady who won was second place the month before because they had,
Right.
masters. And then it was the August event, and I was there. I flew out of town to go Pittsburgh, and I got number 3 out of all those women who had been there before and who had been doing it. But I did everything that I could possibly do, and I listened to my coach because I'm coachable. So I listened to my coach. I did what she suggested I do. I came to those sessions. I never had an attitude, and I was excited about it. I jumped up out of my bed every morning. By 5:30, I have a Stairmaster in my garage. I was on that Stairmaster for an hour. Just getting it in every morning. And then every night I had to do cardio twice a day for over 4 straight months to lean out. I was 6% body fat at that show.
Unbelievable.
Because you know how to be successful, and you just
That's
translate
right.
it into
I sure
this
did.
arena.
So
and
we
you
can
get
say-
successful.
So
Yeah.
we can say that success is a mindset.
It's a mindset in everything.
Whether
Total
it's
mindset.
it's bodybuilding, fitness, entrepreneurship, love, it's a
It's a
mindset.
mindset
discipline
of
and hard work.
discipline.
Lisa, talk to me about your diet.
So, with that being said about that whole diet thing and living that lifestyle, I actually really cleaned it up 5 years ago with the chemicals and really educating and learning about food, the processes. I was in the food business back in the day. I used to be in that business. So I was at a lot of processing plants. I saw the way turkey breast was made. I still ate it. I saw chicken slaughtered, fish plants. I saw it all. And I knew how it all was made. And then there came to a point where I decided I'm not putting these chemicals in my body anymore. And that's where I really, about 5 years ago, so it was definitely a long process for me, and that's why I say it's a journey. It was always, I never did the competing thing where that whole mindset, it's a whole different mindset with that whole, getting on stage in front of people and everyone staring
suit.
at you in that little suit. That's a whole different thing.
That little suit.
That little suit like a thong in the back.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Yes.
So, but it's just, but once, like Tracy said, once you do it, you will never turn back. You don't care if you have a little couple bites of a piece of cake or on a weekend. You don't feel guilty or bad because you don't want that. You don't need that sugar. I feel that, and I'm sure you feel that way too. I just don't have that need to splurge and have a pizza or it hurts my stomach.
Yep.
So I guess I incorporate that in, and that's what I try to teach women, is that once you feel that way and once you get to a weight, not bodybuilding or getting on stage, it's about the confidence and feeling good about yourself and giving that vibe off to people. Because when you're in a room and you feel good about yourself, people know it.
Yeah, because most
And they
people don't
come
feel
to
good.
you.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's just always that eating and changing that whole and learning and educating and always reading and looking at ingredients and cooking for yourself,
Yes.
clean and healthy and fresh,
Yes.
is really just the key to feeling that longevity and feeling really good.
And that's something that I try to teach my patients. Again, like people come to me to appear younger, and I know that, and I can do that, and I can delay the aging process on tissues. But I tend to talk a lot with my patients, especially when they're getting close to the 6th floor, which you guys already are, because
I love that.
they are the 6th floor, you
Steps right
guys.
here, we're
But that's
staying.
why it is called 60 Fit and Fabulous. And for me, it was very important to be able to have you both, because I can talk a lot, but now I feel like when people or the women see this podcast, they're gonna get it. Why? Because we are very visual. But I tell my patients that 60 is a very interesting decade that determines how you're gonna live the rest of your life. You already have gone through menopause, so you are post-menopausal. You have those 10 years that you need to invest on yourself even more than you did before, because we took youth for granted.
Yes.
Right?
We
You were
did.
young.
Yes.
Yes. Most people did.
So true.
Now you're 60 on the
You got
6th
to work
floor.
hard at it.
And I study decades, so I see what 70s is like if you do not make the decision to stay young at 60. So you could see Tracy and Lisa.
Unbelievable.
They look young. I mean, you guys, I would think that you look 25 younger. Your chronological age with clothes. Without clothes, I put you even younger because I'm the dermatologist and I see every single part of their skin. I mean, no cellulite. I mean, these girls are put any 20-year-old, 20-year-old to shame. But what is important here is the message that 60, you can still be young, because youth and beauty, both of you beautiful women, you know, you walk through a room and you turn head. But because you allow us to experience that youth, that attractiveness that you have. But you have to believe it yourself, because you could be so physically attractive and so you're looking at all. Or you could be very beautiful physically. You could be the most beautiful woman physically in the room and the least attractive. So for me, having an example of the two of you, the serendipity, both of you competing in the same competition, both of you are my patients and didn't know each other.
It was meant to be
We didn't know each other.
that day.
And I always wanted to carry this message and have some women that fit the part to be able to be heard and seen. So then it makes my job in the rooms when I talk to those patients that are close to be 60 and I talk to them, we are preparing for the next 10 years, but those 10 years will dictate whether you're gonna be an 80-year-old lady on a wheelchair or you're going to be taking dance lessons and doing ballroom dancing.
Exactly.
That's so important,
So
what you
true.
just mentioned,
Have a vibrant
because
life.
I'm not working out to my today's self, but my 50-year-old Julian. Because I'm aware of what you just said. Unfortunately, most people are blind. They don't even understand what's happening and what's coming. With all these AI advancements, there's a lot of people that are going to lose their job. There's a lot of people that are going to be out of careers, and they're wasting their time and their youth, like you mentioned. People don't appreciate their young life. They start taking care of their health when there's a pathology,
When something
and
happens.
when that happens, it's been decades of that sickness developing inside of you. And this is a great conversation because true and the honor of women, the type of women that inspire young women to do the right thing young. If she could do it at her age, and she was a cheerleader, and she stayed fit for her entire life,
Right.
and they look so beautiful and so youthful and so energetic.
Absolutely.
He used to be a model. I used to be a model, and I don't know if this happened to you, but I used to be around beautiful women that have no brightness. They were like dark, insecure, weird. They were beautiful. That energy that you have come from, I will guarantee that come from something that you discover inside of you in that weight room, that you know that if you achieve and you clear that mountain, there's nothing else that you cannot do, because the weight room is a testament for life. There you're going to fail every single time because you're looking for failure. And we are afraid of failure in society. Athletes go to practice so they can fail. You go to the gym so you can fail. And we are looking for it. But in failure is success.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you are, what you have achieved in your life, both of you, is remarkable. And you inspire young women and all and any age, because what Shino just said is gold. People are tripping right now, because if you're 55, 45, you need to start looking forward. What's going to happen with me in the next 10 years? And all that money and all that effort that I
Doesn't matter.
did, if I'm not healthy,
Right.
Exactly.
nothing matters.
Yeah.
I ask people all the time, in podcasts, in person, what's the most important thing for you? Money or health? No. Health. Well, you're doing nothing for your health. What are you talking about?
Right.
Because we're in a money-driven society.
Right.
Even success is misleading, because I can be somebody that doesn't make $2 million a year and still be successful, because success is not only money.
That's right.
You can be successful being a guy working in construction, having a great family and providing for your family and your belonging and your loved ones. That's being successful. Success is not only being rich and having a couple of Ferraris and a private jet, which is bullshit, because most people don't have that.
Right.
They do that because they're insecure, and they need that
Right.
to fulfill.
But I read something that says that I believe 42% of the worldwide population lives under $10 a day. And then people complain because they don't have a new phone, because they don't have X car or whatever. If we are alive, we already won the lottery. If we're healthy, even more. Because what's happening in the world as far as health is concerned, we're only declining every day. Every 35 or 40 seconds, somebody will have a heart attack or die because of diabetes complications. If this is not eye-opening for you, I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. Dr. Shino Bay, I wanna ask you something about how is it that, because you explained this to me, the physiology, especially of women, changes with age, where the lower third of women's bodies changes.
Yeah, I mean, aging is architectural changes, and
You speak so beautiful.
right after age 18, we start having the architectural changes on the skin. So you lose the elasticity. So you lose about 1 to 2% of collagen on the skin. A year, by the time you're 45, you lost 25% of your collagen mass in the skin. Then you enter the 40s and you start losing the fat compartments, and that's when you look just gaunt or tired, but you necessarily don't look like grandma and grandpa. Enter 50s and you start to have bone loss, bone remodeling, and that is what makes you look like an elderly person, which it didn't happen to you ladies, because you still...
Because I'm blessed knowing this.
Her bones are there and
Right.
strong and keep going.
They work out their jaw too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're beautiful, but they're a good example that if you know what happens at certain decades, and we can be a few steps ahead of the changes, so then you don't have severe changes on these tissues. Technologies keep changing. I'm blessed to be part of many advisory boards internationally, so we already know how to turn any old cell in the human body young again. We know how to bring bone back. There's so many stuffs that are coming in the future, the next 10 years, where we probably going to be living past 100. So being 60, ladies, now is amazing and wow, but probably by the 60 is so young now. If you're going to live to be 120, 60, you're middle age again. So, but right now it's remarkable that you guys have made the decision to look this good at this age where most women decided not to stay young. They stay young. And so like, what does it mean for you guys to be 60 feet and 5? You know, like what is that definition to you?
I love that.
Because I think it's this. I know you both like to inspire people. I follow you Instagram. You're already doing that. You're doing it too. But and I see your posts. And I see the energy that you both put into it. Like you really are truly and honestly trying to affect other women in a positive way. So what is 60 feet and fabulous for you?
Oh, wow. It's just, honestly, it feels so good. It feels like I took control of the youth. I took control of the narrative. I don't have to be the old lady. I don't have to be what people think over the hill when you get to a certain age. So I'm excited that I took control over the narrative and inspiring other women. I get so many women in my DMs and even on my posts. Do you think I can do it? I'm turning 60. I thought I couldn't, but you did it. Can I do it? Or I'm 61. Is it too late? Can I still lift? Is it possible? Absolutely. I love that. So I didn't do this for that, but it is the byproduct, and it's becoming something people want to talk about. News stations are calling me from other states to do, I just did an interview a week ago at a news station, an ABC station, and they want to talk about being 60, fit, and fabulous. And that was actually the name of their segment, and I was the only one they had. And they had to come out of state to get me.
It's very unlikely.
Very unlikely. And that's what the women are saying. Well, is it possible for me too? Absolutely. And, thank God for a just an overall package of health care, the gym, a good doctor like you, that we've been talking and making plans for a minimum of 10 years. That's how long I've known you. And it's been longer than that, I honestly believe, maybe even 12. But these are things that are important so that when you get to a certain place, you're ready. We even talked about things to do so that when I go down to 8% or 6% body fat, not to look so, not to look like that. And that's very real because the fat, you lose so much fat, body fat, it comes out of your face too. Exactly. So you're sucked in. You know what that look. Yeah, my husband can't stand that look, but that's it.
Yeah, well, you guys never look like that. So I'm sure husbands that they don't look like that.
Yes.
So Lisa, what does it mean to you to be 60 fit and fabulous and the responsibility of it?
I really feel better than I did when I was 50.
Nice.
So that's inspiring to women to change your life and get that mindset to live a healthier lifestyle. And I am blessed to have Shino in my life for over 13 years that has helped me learn about supplementations and all kinds of things to help with the whole anti-aging process. But I feel amazing, and I don't even think that number. And I tell people my age that, how do you look like that locally? And, oh my gosh, you're 60? And they're just shocked. I thought you're in your 40s. And that is that because it's every day. It's just you live that lifestyle. And I don't think about it because I love eating the way I do. I love it. I eat a lot of good, healthy things, but I don't think I'm ever depriving myself of the best life ever. And
That's beautiful.
I don't think of the number.
It's because it's only a number.
Exactly.
And we mentioned now something so important. We have a lot of nuggets of wisdom for you guys today. But prevention is key in everything. And I always say, if you want to achieve something, you gotta go with somebody that have already done it. There's a lot of people that in the cosmetic industry, especially in Miami, let's be real, that their reputation is not that good. This guy right here, I admire you and I love you so much because, first of all, he's one of the best in the world.
That's right.
Yes.
Hands down.
Hands down.
And he's so humble
So humble.
with a good heart that
The best.
he is willing to help people unconditionally,
Yes.
just to make them understand and aware of what they can do. And it's so important that if you are investing on your future and you're putting something on your face, you have to come to this guy. You can compromise your health with people that don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
And that's so important because I've seen beautiful women do shit to their face that is like,
Right.
damn,
Exactly.
Crazy stuff.
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
Yes.
doing?
One of the most detrimental things that I noticed in young women is these lips.
Ooh, I know.
I'm like, what are you doing,
What are you-
baby?
right.
You're beautiful already.
Right.
We're like, why? Do you trying to send a message? I
Right,
don't get it.
Right.
You know
Terrible.
what I mean?
He
It's
knows.
like awful.
Yeah, that's called perception drift, and unfortunately it happens. And people like that, you wonder if they have good friends, because friends don't let friends have lips like that.
No.
You know?
Right.
We always
right.
think about the lip
Exactly.
Yo,
The
what's
lip
up
thing
with
is
you?
crazy.
But the thing that
crazy.
perception drift, like they saw it in social media so many times
Right.
that they did studies that if you look on your feet, a lot of thin lips, and everybody have thin lips, and you happen to have big full lips, then you start thinking like, maybe my lips are too big, and vice versa, and then you start not seeing how you altering your looks because it becomes you drifted. It's called
Drifted.
perception drift. But if you have good friends and family members, you know they should tell you
That
that
put you in your place.
that
Right.
you've
What are you
done too
doing?
much.
Right. Too
So
much.
girls, if you got big lips and you don't know, talk to your friends.
No,
Right.
you
Too
gotta
much.
work with professionals
Right.
like this man. Otherwise, you can even put something on your face that is detrimental.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
We see that. We see people losing
And
their
in their
life.
butt too.
Ooh.
People losing their life from emboli. I mean, it looks so easy to inject these syringes,
Right.
and it's so not funny because it's terrifying that there are people that you can go in Alibaba. Perhaps I should not even say this, but there's people that they go inside, they order fillers that probably come from China,
Oh my God.
and they go on YouTube and social media. That's why I never do like my colleagues. I show how I inject, because they can do that, and then they inject themselves, and then they go blind, or they can inject into a blood vessel, get a stroke. So it looks easy, but you need to know anatomy.
No,
you know, they
need
know to
know
hurt
your
somebody.
stuff.
You know, they know to hurt somebody. So there's the things that you don't hear: people losing their nose, going blind, and even dying trying to get cosmetic procedures
Yes.
without having the understanding how to inject it or injecting it. You know, there's nothing that goes faster to the brain that you inject around the face. You know,
Ooh, wow. Directly to the brain, huh?
I
Right.
mean, you could
Oof.
retina. You know, anything can happen.
Anything.
Wow.
And Fix a Flat, you know, it was a case out of Miami.
I remember
Right,
that.
remember that? Fix a Flat in the butt.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
the glute
the butt
area.
was flat, so she needed fix a flat.
Yeah, exactly.
The sad thing is that, unfortunately, we all live in a society that is dopaminergic. And every time we grab that phone and we start scrolling, we get a dopamine hit. And we have been manipulated to think that whatever we do, we have to have fast results. That's what I mentioned before in the podcast about the term business porn. Because any 22-year-old kid see a guy with a Ferrari and a couple of sunglasses talking BS, and only in 6 months you make $100,000, and they believe that.
I know.
And they believe that. The same thing happens with cosmetic, with fitness, with nutrition, because now anybody can sell anything online.
Exactly.
That should be regulated, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that have no qualifications, no experience, no knowledge, and they're selling things to the masses. I have, and I'm going to be straight up to the camera, I have a problem with influencers. Because a lot of influencers in the fitness arena, in the nutrition arena, they have only a nice butt and a good physique. Straight up. And that doesn't make you capable of transforming nobody's life because you don't have knowledge and you don't have experience.
Right.
It's exactly what you said. Because you see a master like this guy injecting doesn't make you capable of imitating him and do it in a way that he developed a technique that took him 25 years.
Exactly.
You can't buy knowledge. You can't buy time. So I'm against influencers because nowadays, unfortunately, because it's us, we reward mediocrity and we block knowledge. I bet you money, Shino, that you put a post right now talking about a theory on how you develop your technique that is unique in the world, and you get a couple of hundred likes.
Yeah, it's true.
A women
Happens all the
come
time.
or a guy come with a nice ass and abs and talking sexy in a camera, baby, and they get a lot of followers and a lot of likes. So we're being brainwashed to think that knowledge is not as important as appearance.
Right.
What's your take on that, guys?
Well, everybody wants to be entertained.
Right.
And if it's not entertaining, they're not going to like it. You know?
Exactly.
But I watch the two of you on social media, and I love following you because you like to inspire not only on what you're doing with your life, but also help other women be able to be successful in their careers.
Yes.
And you do it so beautifully. And I see you working out, and very stimulating. And she's absolutely gorgeous. And I still, like I'm the doctor, I know the age, but it's like mind blowing to look like this at 60, right? So it's always great to see. So when did you decide to share, or knowing that you have something to share and put it out there?
Yeah, so I was not really a fan of social media because I'm not native to it. I didn't grow up with the phone in my hand the way the kids, the younger people have. So it took some younger people. When I was having a talk on a stage, I was a guest for a fireside chat. And then I was approached like, you know what, let us put your stuff out there. Let us just record you and see how it goes. And I had 10,000 followers, the same 10,000 I had for like 3-4 straight years. And we started, then it got 15, and it started growing, 20. And then, within 2 years, 270.
That's
almost.
great.
So 550,000 on all platforms together. Wow. So it's more than 500,000, but it's true to what I am. I'm just talking, just like we're talking here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I'm being genuine.
What more people say, even if you have one follower, you're still an influencer because you're influencing that one person.
Exactly.
So you don't need to have a lot of
No.
to be an influencer. To be an influencer, you need to come from a place of love.
Exactly.
And with
Press
good
of love,
intentions.
with good intentions.
And that makes an influencer.
It does.
No
And
amount of followers.
And I think people know and feel that too.
You better know it.
I believe that because
I do too.
I notice now that because with age comes something called that you don't care.
I thought you were going to say wisdom. right.
Wisdom. Yeah. Let's call it wisdom.
Okay.
I started to do things more genuinely and showing who I am really in social media. As before, I was trying to be very proper and very professional, and and now I'm being myself. I have experience way more engagement and more rapid growth because I am who I am. And I was always afraid of, believe it or not, I was always afraid because I wanted to be perfect in social media. You know, like, I think that happens to me a couple of years ago. And then I decided, you know what, whatever. If you want to follow me or not, whatever. I'm going to do my best to educate you and give you the knowledge that I have. Let it be. And I feel like now I'm getting better results than ever because I'm being honest with
People
myself.
know it.
Yeah.
People they know when it's real and when it's fake.
Yeah.
I can see it a mile away.
Yeah.
You know the intentions of people when they have a good heart, and you can watch. Like I always watch you with all the students. Every time I come, you've got somebody learning from you. You know, and that's such a give at a whole different level, because these are people who could go right to Boca and open up.
Right.
And there's people who do, you know, who have that, but they still come to the master of it, the GOAT, to get all of that great information. And you're so happy. They fly in from California. You remember the one doctor, I can't even think of his name. And I loved him. He comes in from California to learn from you. So that influence there, being true to who you are, makes all
Absolutely.
the difference in the world. And that's why I don't sell spots. So many people come to me, all these companies we'll pay you for this reel and this. I don't do that, because I need my people to come and get the real deal. I'm not going to be, you're not paying me for stuff I don't even believe in.
Exactly.
And it's all phony. And I've been too real. So I'm not going to be phony now.
Authenticity is very important, social media.
Yeah.
And Lisa, so when you post, what is your intention? What's your hope
Well,
when people
that's
see
very
you?
interesting, because I see a lot of women, not really 60, but I do get, because of my age, a lot of posts coming to me that I should follow. And I find it very interesting. There's a lot of negativity that they post.
Towards
Just
what?
negativity on just statements they make about, or being overweight, or they did something so fast and you can do it, just in a kind of saying negative things, and that's not me. I am a positive person, and I'm not going to gain followers saying, look at you, you feel bad about yourself.
Oh, I see what you say.
Just
Shaming them to take action.
Yeah.
Kind of way.
Or just different things that I don't feel comfortable ever doing, because I'm a true, honest person, and I get feedback, which is interesting because they don't know me on Instagram, and they'll say about being so real, and it's interesting. I'm like, how? I wasn't even talking. Really, I was just creating. I love creating. I'm artistic, so I love creating the videos. I find that as a hobby. And I just create what my passion is. And people feel that vibe through that whole creativity thing. And I just want to give positive messages and be real and true, because you do get, like you said, you get so much fake information and fake things and promising people things that aren't true. And that's why I do the journey thing, because it is a journey. It's not something that you can just take a pill and pop, and but it's never too late to start. Like Tracy, she started lifting weights later in life, but it's never too late to change your life. And I guess I'm just trying to be positive and inspirational.
Absolutely. Last but not, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, because this is very important for me to know, because I see how, women are, men we're different animals, from Mars, women from Venus. But I curious, at this decade, on the 6th floor, how is the relationship with other women, especially how they behave around you guys? Or do you think the competition goes away? Does it get better? Because I think for myself, working with women, surrounded by women, I feel like sometimes there is not the, to find your community. And we said really early, when they study the blue zones, community is very important. Community is very important for longevity. Super important, more than food, exercise,
Sleep,
pure community. So I just feel like, since we said that with age comes wisdom. Do you feel like it's easier to create a community with other women, like-minded women, or it is difficult as it is when, high school, early 20s? What is that like? Because I'm curious, since I'm not a woman.
Or do they hate you because you're so hot?
Exactly.
Because of that.
Stay away from my husband. I'm like, I got a great husband.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So it goes both ways, because it's just, for me, community, it's just been the same type of thing from even high school. I was always different. And so I understood how to find my tribe. My vibe attracts my tribe. And I would always get a certain type of person that we had a lot in common, because they were usually ambitious, doing things. And then there were the women who, high school, college, and if they weren't really on a track of doing anything, we didn't have much in common. And so it's the same. So in the gym, I've been able to find great community, because we just look at each other and we say, yep, I know all about it. I look at their face and they've just finished lifting something heavy, and then I'll go just like that, or just give them a fist bump, like, you did that, or, so I that's why I enjoy it, and I can stay in there so long, because we have so much in common. Exactly. And there are some friends I had before that, you still doing that workout thing? I'm ready to go get some ribs. Well, I don't eat ribs anymore. I don't want to go get the barbecue. That's not my thing. Or
get out of my life.
I'm making a sock it to me cake. Can I put you down for one? No, don't sock it to me with that cake. No, thank you. So things just change, and I just start to move towards people who are like-minded, who are doing the same thing, and find the community there, because we're going to support each other. It's like, you're not stopping this, especially not at this age. You're going to keep going hard, and we're just going to keep proving what it can be and what we can look like, even down in the bikini to the little skinny thing in the back. So we're still glutes around, firm, lifted high to the sky.
Sister.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes. So we know that, and that's how I find community.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, it definitely is harder at 60 when you have kept yourself up over the years, and those women have not kept themselves up. So like Tracy said, you have to find, it's not the quantity, it's the quality.
Right.
And my close circle of friends is not huge, but the people that get me understand me, and they leave me alone, and they want me to play canasta more than once a week, but I can't sit and play cards for them.
Right.
They're like, I know, Lisa, you have to be in the gym. But they accept me. But it is definitely, as you get older, that community is harder for sure.
I have to say something to close up. You say something that is very important. I'm going to talk about something that is going to make you happy. Women and men are different in many aspects. Now I'm in my 40s, so I'm experiencing what you experienced when you were 18 to 26. I'm young. I'm making my money. My girlfriend is 21 now. Beautiful. I was invisible for women from 18 to 30. Because women like certain things that I didn't possess at that time. In the other hand, women supposedly have their best years between 18 and 26, 30. But I see you women, and you're redefining that mindset. Because a woman that looks good like you and with that wisdom is 30 times more attractive than a young woman that don't know anything about life. And I know your husbands are here. I'm not trying to flirt with them. It's just reality.
No, but I always say that even myself.
That was with love.
Yes.
I always say this to myself because, I'm 3 years behind you guys. I'm 57 this year in November. But my best decade was 40s for me. because I just felt, like I got to where I needed to be. I'm doing what I love to do. And I was so content with all my achievement and got rid of my imposter syndrome and started enjoying my life. So, I'm very honest. Like when in 59, I'm going to do this. And I want to do it because I'm doing it for me, because I want to go through that decade looking as good as you, not having to worry about the aging process. But somebody asked me, well, how old would you like to look? And I said, well, I just want to look 40 because that was my best decade. And you guys, you don't look that you're in your 60s. You
At
look like
all.
you guys stuck on that 40, where even in women, I found Cindy Crawford more attractive in her 40s, and Madonna and everybody else than when they were on their 30s and 20s.
Right.
And 40, that is, it was my decade. So now I'm getting close to 60. I want 60 to be that
40.
decade.
That's
Decade.
right.
And I think that's what you're doing. And for me
yes.
to watch you guys doing that you're 60 and you living your best decade or
Yes.
making it to be, or define it to be your best decade, is an example to me.
Yes.
And I wanted to share it with every single patient in my practice, with you and the rest of the world.
Beautiful,
appreciate
beautiful.
you having
Last
us so
question for
much.
all of you before
Yes.
we wrap it up.
Yeah.
This is called the Fitness Revolution Podcast, en inglés y en español.
See?
So, what is the revolution that you aim to make in your community, your country, and the planet? Let's start with Shino.
It's America question,
I
isn't it?
was just thinking that too.
I've been reading.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Stay tuned for that one.
I'm the doctor here, and for me, the revolution I do it in the global medical community in aesthetic is to revive orthomolecular science.
Love it.
Combine it with bioreactive medicine, and I created and coined the term functional aesthetic medicine, where we actually getting younger instead of appearing younger and sticking foreign material on our head for 20 years and expect them to look natural. So my goal is to revive and keep that movement going, because I want every single one of my patients to get to the 6th floor like you guys and feel and look younger, because you are younger.
Exactly.
From the tissue that you have on your face, nothing synthetic, and you look
Right.
natural and you look beautiful and you're authentic because it is you. So that's my goal as aesthetic doctor.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Wow. I mean, that's a deep question. But my goal is to continue to be an example, to show women what is possible in fitness, in life, and in business, and even in marriage. That, when you set a goal, when you say you're going to do it, how you stick with it. And that's my goal. I want to continue to inspire women to believe that it's not too late, they're not too old, that they can do it. Lisa's been doing it since she was 20, in and out. And I'm new. I'm the new kid on the block in here, but still was able to do it. So it can be done. So I want to continue to inspire and live by example,
Oh, that's awesome.
not by just words. I like everything by example.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to never retire.
Yes.
So I have you to keep inspiring me. I love to learn. I love to always educate myself and learn from the best, whether it's being coached for a show or Shino keeping me in taps, or doctors helping my wellness program, and just being fabulous at every age and just feeling your best and sharing it and inspiring others.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
My goal is to become my best version. So I help you guys to become your best version, and together create America, the healthiest country on the planet. And I always tell you this because you deserve the energy of the youth with the knowledge and the wisdom of age that only comes with the age. Julián Díaz por aquí, un abrazo para todos. Espero que este episodio les haya gustado. Great company, great conversations. I love this opportunity to talk to you guys. Amazing vibe here, and I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you so much.
Julián Díaz por aquí. Chao, chao.
Gracias.